us on YouTube Live. So let's get that going right now. Just take me a second here. Then we can start. It should take us about 45 or 50 minutes. On YouTube Live. Okay, so let's get that. Okay, there it is. Okay, so we're live streaming on YouTube. And by the way, you can always catch us on YouTube Live. I'm going to talk, I'll go ahead and talk first about the best way to stay in touch with information on our program is to actually, let me see if I can't do this. I think I can. Yeah, I can do it. I can do it. Is to go to our website, www.westaid-eep.org, where they tell me, let me pause for sharing. Hold on. So our YouTube channel is right here at www-eep.org. I'm sorry, westaid-eep.org. You can see it in the upper left corner, and you can go here for all the information. We kept these very simple at the top. There's our SAT prep. Those were our summer. This is all our stuff here, our major programs, our college process stuff, a lot of good stuff there. We do have a scholarship page that we keep updated. I'll do three separate sessions on scholarships over the next 7 months. I have a financial aid page. I have some things about careers, job resources. You can see at the top, there are these banners. And one banner that just went by was our YouTube channel. And I really advise you to subscribe there. Every single video may not be, that you see we're live right now, may not be relevant, but we do have a lot of videos that are relevant to you. I just dropped a series on the new LEUSD curriculum where they're going to be teaching students in as low as kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, all about gender and being queer and things like that. Just wanted my parents to know. But then I have other things too, like college affordability and mistakes, our homework club. There's a calculus one we did that got a lot of views. It's crazy. Over here, I'm not sure why I did. I think I made a comment about that somewhere. And different student panels. There was a GW, George Washington University student panel, and there's much, much more on here, much more information. And as we go through the season, I'll be producing videos. I'm going to have one this week that describes the different types of admission, early action, and regular admission. And there's a new one called revised or exclusive or whatever it is, early action. I better talk about that because that's something new that's spreading across the nation. But subscribe to our channel. I think you'll be very happy to do that. I got to that from our website, by the way. That's westaid-eep.org. All right. Very good. Let me go ahead and start our presentation today now. I have the controls here. Okay. There we go. All right. This is our fourth meeting. Really, there's been three. The second meeting was just a series of pre-recorded videos, about 10 minutes each. You can see all that on our website. Like I said, you haven't missed much. I mean, you'll be able to catch up here today and go back and watch those videos and have great success. Don't worry about that at all. And then I'll tell you how to get on track too. There are all the ways of contacting me. I should probably comment. I'm in the office a lot more now. We're in the office now 3 days a week. During the summer, I'm in the office 5 days a week. There's the church number and the extension. And there's my cell number right there if you need to reach me. You can always reach me there. There's my email address, my personal email address, and the website I have on here. Again, these are all links. We'll ship you a copy of this presentation. I think Quinn will be here at some point. If she's not, I'll share it with you at the end of the session. She should be here. I'm not sure why she's hung up. I don't want to stop and text her either. All right, let's talk about the key to high academic merit awards. Let's talk about that. The key to give myself a different view here. Let's see if I can change the view. I believe I can. All right, good stuff. The key to high academic merit awards. Well, you might laugh, but it's grades, 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 and then a little bit of SAT. So if you want to get a merit award or a significant one, I mean, a lot of schools will do small merit awards compared to the cost of the school, but it's going to be grades, 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 grades. They're going to determine the actual merit award. So obviously this presentation's all about related issues. First of all, on SAT, I don't think any of you have seen these charts. Now look at who's here. Maybe one did, I don't know. And I don't know who's on YouTube Live, but let's go through this just so you can see what I'm thinking about the SAT. Students should take the August 27th SAT if they have not taken it at all, and if he or she needs it. Now the question is, does she need it? I'll talk about that. Does he or she need it? You want to take it a second time in October, November, if applicable. We will offer prep for all tests, open enrollment in person, online by request. That's now outdated. We are offering our sessions. We'll talk about an orientation this week. There is an orientation session coming up. You should be emailed about it already. If not, we will. I don't remember if it's Wednesday or Thursday, but I will be there. It's an online session. But you'll see that we're offering either online or in person. And we'll be streaming the in-person sessions, if you know what I mean. We'll be streaming so a person could come see it, and we'll be streaming it on the internet just to those who are in the class. They'll be in the Princeton Review classroom. We'll talk about how to register for the classroom and all of that. That'll be done during the orientation and then on Friday before you actually do your first prep class. It's $100 to $260 depending on the high school. There are limited spots. I only have 2 spots left because I only wanted to have 9 or 10 students in this prep. And fewer students are taking the SAT. This is why we made our classes smaller and therefore a lot more efficient, and we think very, very good. You can go to weststate-eep and click the SAT prep banner at the page top, or go to programs and SAT prep like I showed you, and you can register. We'll see that registration right away. Me and or Christina will be in touch with you right away almost. You can register for the SAT itself. You should do that now because let's see now, the test is on August 27th. So by about July 20th will be the deadline for registering at www.collegeboard.com. And when you register for your site, and I'll mention this in orientation again, parents who are there, I got a couple in here in that class. You want to use the outer county sites once again. Do not pick a LAUSD high school. It's still a little unpredictable whether you'll have a staff on the weekend to open the school, but yet they'll still say it's available. Only one LAUSD high school out of the 6 who said they would actually did the SAT last time. So be careful to pick schools like that are in South Bay or Pasadena or like Los Alamitos. That's a good one to pick. Orange County. Get away from the LA Unified, Inglewood, or Compton school districts because they're just not consistently opening the schools. Again, if there's any questions as I go, so I don't have help here, just go ahead and open your mic up and ask me and I'll stop. My help would generally watch the question and answer, but I can handle it, I think. Any question at this point in the process? It's probably a great question.
Who should take the SAT? How do you know if your student needs to take it?
That's a perfect lead-in. Let's talk about the SAT candidate student profile. Well, you set me up good there. I think a high, so very high, not high, GPA is one indication that a student should take the SAT. I'm sorry. So that's the first thing. But then let's talk some more about it. ACT of 20 plus or an SAT or PSAT of 960. High school debt, if it's not an issue for you of $20,000 to 35,000. In other words, how do I tie these in? Because it turns out that you may be trying to go for a private school. Even if you get a merit award, it'd still be 20 to 35,000 a year for a selective private college, even if they score very high. And that's because most students don't get both the SAT and the GPA extremely high. They could be. And if they are, that would be helpful. Although there's very few schools that do a totally free ride, it would certainly be a good coverage. So I think you got to be kind of okay with student debt, that you're going to pick a private college and you're going to try to get the scores up to reduce it, maybe to that 20,000 area. But for private school, you're going to pay a little more. The implication is if you're doing the SAT, you might be looking at private colleges. And by the way, remember, I know there's Black private colleges, majority private, they're all private colleges to me. So HBCUs, which are private Black colleges, are part of this too, this discussion. Consider private college, if you're considering private colleges, speaking of that, going away from California, including HBCUs or traditionally Black colleges, you're probably a candidate for the SAT. Because most Black schools will admit you without the SAT, but you're not eligible for merit awards, and they don't tell you. That's why I'm telling you right now, you need to have your student plan to take the SAT, and therefore score pretty high to make it cost effective. Okay. Application support. All right. If you're going to have good application support, and it's very good, most of you are working with me and our people. We're close. We're very good. We can get the most out of that score as far as your college list. So no sense raising scores without a goal or objective. And the goal or objective should be a college list. That's a variety of nice colleges. If you already had your meeting with me, I made sure of that in the college list. I may be a little tardy with the chart on the colleges, but I'll get it to you. And you'll see that you have some good colleges that they can get into with a nice score, and it'll become affordable too. I don't let a college conference end without getting some affordable schools on the list, one way or another. And sometimes it's pretty tough, and I'll show you why that is in just a moment. It can get a little tough making suggestions, and there's a good reason for that. Nobody means to not take help. It's just things that happen, and I will cover that today in just a moment. Well, let's go back. Sister Walker, did you have further questions?
Like when should my son is gonna be a senior?
Want to be?
Fall?
Oh, he's a senior. I call him
Yeah.
a senior.
Yeah, okay. And so when do I start filling out an application
For which?
for the colleges?
Oh,
For
you know what? I should hire you. I will be covering that. And it's a very nuanced answer, but I make it very, very simple on 2 or 3 view graphs.
okay.
You will leave this meeting knowing. In fact, I'm gonna check back with you before you go.
Okay.
I'll make sure of that. Okay. In fact, when I get to that chart, I'll probably check back.
Okay.
'Cause that's I hope everybody heard that question. That is a really important question. And I would be a Jack Lade enrichment director if I didn't cover that. You all be like talking about me and stuff. I would talk about me if I didn't cover it. The guy I've been doing it 20 years didn't even tell us. It's like a concert I went to with a good singer. They didn't even sing their hit songs. That seemed to upset me. All right, I don't know how I got on that, but you get the point. All right, here are 7 top ways. And this is the meat of the presentation. I said, God, there's like 10 others. No, God told me just cover these and we'll get to the other ones. There's some other ones that concern me. I was biting my lip because I wanted to say something about common misconceptions of what you can do if you're not going to have enough money. For example, everybody says get scholarships. You should do that, but it's for another reason. That will cover your indirect costs for college. Typically, the scholarships that my students get on their own are covering the indirect costs and have very little effect on the bill. The bill is something you're going to need to work out, hopefully in a favorable financial aid award or merit awards, okay? That's one I would have covered that I don't have here today. It was honorable mention. It got kicked off the list. But I think I have a pretty good list of things here. And if there's students, are there students present? Are there students hearing this? Let me know if there's any students. It's okay if it's not. I see Sister Monica there. Sister Monica.
Yes,
Monica?
speaking. Yes, I'm here.
What? Oh, there's one student. Okay, Ryan's here. Okay. I'm flattered that you're here.
Yeah, I have a senior. Number 4.
Wow.
Yes.
Is this version 4?
Yes.
You
Version 4.
you just broke the record.
Yes.
You just try to see if anything changed, right?
Yes, getting some new updated
All
information.
right. Okay. All right, you bad, boy. Bad. I don't mean bad. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
I'm so excited I'm working with you again. You're really a great parent.
Thank you.
Really are. I mean, all right. Okay. So here we go. So there's one student who'll see it, but that's okay. I think you all can let them see the video because we are doing it live. I think that you all can share this with them. It's probably good. It's okay. Students, have a realistic, please have a realistic, non-entitlement perspective, please, on yourself. Don't feel like you worked hard in high school, now you're entitled to this, go to any school you want. I don't want you to feel that way. Even if it seems that way in your house, it's not true. Students, you get the school you earn and choose, not just the one you choose. That means just choose a school. You got to earn it because your parents have to pay for it. Life lesson number 1, in the college selection process, teaches us that you can't have everything you want in life. That's the first place where you discover that. I mean, you might have known that, but you really get a sense of it in the college process. It's all up to admissions committees and scholarship boards and your parents' budget and all those kind of things. You just can't have everything you want in life. And I know these parents would, if I was in person, I would ask, has any parent gotten everything they want in life? And I'm sure I wouldn't get any hands. Students, please easily understand that you cannot have a right to attend any college you want, no matter the cost, no matter what your parents say or promise. It's just, that's very difficult to deliver. Students, applications require work and time above and beyond your homework, your job, your athletics, etc. That's if you have a lot of private schools and a lot of other different types of schools on your list. It's going to be like having another subject in school and one that has a lot of homework. And we'll help with that process. We have a lot of ways we can make it much, much easier, okay, if you want to. I see Christina Martinez is here. Hi, Christina. Christina? I wonder if she hears me. Maybe not. She'll let me know in a minute. All right. Other ways. It's against the 7 ways. Let's go to another one. Parents, have open conversations with your youth about this subject. Now, I debated doing this view graph because really I'm talking to parents right in front of the students, but I think it's necessary. Parents, how much these are rhetorical questions, but if you can answer any of these questions, wow, I'd like to talk to you because you're way ahead in the process. Most people don't think about that till spring, even if they're in my program. But if you're already thinking this way, the earlier we have a talk, the better. So at our college conference, if that's true, you can tell me. How much are you willing to pay in cash for college per year? Those of you doing private school, high school right now, there's a clue. You have a clue to how much you're willing to pay. Parents, how much debt are you willing to take? How much per month are you willing to pay per month for 7 to 10 years after your student leaves college? These are conversations that are uncomfortable, but it's really a good question to ask. Parents, evaluate your students' study skills and willingness to succeed academically when you are not there every day before you go into debt for college. Just think about it. That's a good conversation to have with your youth. That's why I put that up there in red. This can lead to some really, really good conversations. And the earlier they're had, the better, because they can actually shape the college list. Once you meet with me, you'll see what I mean. Students, make this year your greatest high school academic year. Remember, these are ways to control college costs. And I'm already working on the idea of finishing college in 4 years to control cost, right? And how am I doing that? Because I want you to get a good start in college. Students that come out of high school with good grades, working hard, they just continue to do it in college. But if you come out struggling, you'll kind of end college not having learned how to do extremely well in your classes. Now we have a workshop for high school student academic success, Sunday, August 7th, 2 p.m. to 4:45 with Dr. Corliss Bennett. It's a week from Sunday. If you can come to that, you'll get some great insight. We'll have a short graduation for our summer program at the end. But come on to the workshop and learn about academic success in high school. Use our homework club. We have a homework club. Remember, I'm talking about making this the greatest high school academic year. It starts Tuesday, September 6th. You can register online. We offer help with all the subjects. Why? It helps. Why should you be concerned about your performance in your 12th grade year? It helps. First of all, it helps with a few merit awards that are based on 7 semesters. There's quite a few that are, and leads you into college on a high successful. I should have said peak, knowing and you know how to learn and how to do well in class. You kind of get the sense where you know how to get an A. Curb your number of activities and employment is my advice. Most students are doing too much to do better than before in high school. You know, when you get to 12th grade and now you're adding things, activities, and you're working, you're busier than ever, yet you want this to be your greatest high school academic semester, certainly the semester coming up and the year in general. Next, regulate and control the use of AP classes for the 12th grade year. I much prefer 2-year college classes. Academic merit awards for selective colleges, first of all, are based on 3 years. So here you are taking these AP classes and they're looking at your three-year transcript. Now, sometimes they request the 7th semester transcript, but I'm seeing that less and less now with the competition for selective private colleges. So before you take all those AP classes, understand this is what's going on here. Understand the mathematics of this situation. If you want to raise your GPA, it's probably too late to do it via AP classes in the 12th grade year. Just remember, I said above, they're not looking at it. And, you know, if you were to get straight A's, the mathematic reality is that it's only going to contribute another 0.2 or 0.15 to your GPA. So think about that also. But you want to do well for those other issues we said. And this is all about controlling the use of AP classes. Students resist the fear of disappointing counselors or teachers. I usually tell parents when counselors tell them to take a lot of AP classes, I always ask the parent, somewhat, jokingly, but serious too. I ask them, is that counselor going to pay for college? They're going to help pay. Because you want to maximize the grade performance in that 7th semester in case a higher GPA is needed for scholarships. Resist the fear of disappointing counselors and teachers. Be more into the you first. You, the student saying, hey, me first, and you first parents mentality. Recognize when you should actually continue AP classes and when you should not. I mean, if you've been getting A's in AP classes all along, and I mean A's. I mean, you had 6 chances, you got 5 A's and 1 B. All right, those are A's. If you got B's or you got some C's in there, don't fall for that. Well, really, it's a grade higher. I'll just take the next AP. You really should only take AP classes at this point if you know you're going to get an A. Okay? That really is when you should take AP classes. All right? Let's see who's in here. All right. Okay, good. Okay, let's see what we got in the chat here. Oh, yeah, we will share the PowerPoint as soon as my help comes. And if not, I'll take a break and share it. I'm hoping I saw Christina for a moment and she knows to share that. I'll see if they're trying to text me.
Hey, Deacon, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Well, we need to go in the drive and share the presentation as soon as you can. Some people
Okay, give me a sec.
Yeah, some asked for it in the chat.
Okay.
All right. Next, show curiosity and interest in all types of colleges, not just one or two. Yeah, don't get locked in, well, there's only one kind of school I'm looking at. I really want you to open up your curiosity and interest into all types of colleges. I have students that are literally successful in all parts of the country and literally in all types of colleges. Seriously, I do. And I really think that that's important to understand. Okay. Oops. Name brand interests with average to very good grades equals a very high college cost. So you're interested in a certain school, it's a name brand. And if you get in, you go in no matter what. That means you're going to pay for that. Because usually, if the grades are just average to very good, they're not super high. Super high is, 3.8 to 4.0 unweighted. So if you have good grades, 3.6 unweighted, you'll get a merit award, but it won't be large enough to make that cost below $35,000 a year. And a lot of parents will just say, no, I'm not doing that. And some will, that's fine, but you've increased their indebtedness. So have a lot of different types of colleges on the list so that at the end of the day, you can look at other schools and compare the costs. Again, if we conference, I'm going to make sure there's an affordable school on the list. In fact, tonight, I'm going to tell you some of the best affordable schools in each category. And every school I put up there, I've had students go there and start great careers, no matter what the school is, okay? And there are different reasons why. I even will show you a chart about that. Watch for early lock-in. Don't lock into schools so early. Parents and students, this is the one thing that colleges truly hope for. They truly hope you'll do, that you'll lock in early on their school and they don't have to really work to recruit you. Don't do that. Don't just lock in the first one you visited or there's a relative in the town, no matter what, you're going to go there. Try not to lock in early, which relates to, curiosity and interest in all types of colleges. That's what we're talking about here. Visit colleges, get this, that you think you won't like. Challenge yourself, press yourself, find out what you really like and don't like, okay? Let's see if I got a question in here. Okay, so there's the drive access. I think Ryan Fry might have asked. If you click on that, you can steal it on your drive, okay, Ryan?
Yeah, the link is on the chat, everyone.
Yes, in the chat as well, okay? Okay, Ryan, you see those? Ryan?
Let me know if you guys have any problems accessing it. I'll make sure to send it to you personally in case if it doesn't work.
Okay, yeah, great. All right, they said okay. All right.
Mine said need access.
Okay, I'll give you access just right now.
Yeah, just that's great. Make that happen. All right, learn to draw a distinction between applying, well, this is very important, versus attending a college. I can't tell you the times I've been in conferencing and I'll say to a student, I think you ought to apply to so-and-so. And they'll say, I don't want to go. But I wasn't talking about going. I was talking about applying, right? It's like me saying, let's just go in the store and look. We don't have to buy it. Get to learn your products. Applying for a school is different than saying you're going to attend. It's like shopping versus buying. I sure hope this is clear to students and the parents. You'll think, well, we don't want to apply to so-and-so. Okay, well, you can, but then you don't hear all the benefits of that school. And that's what happens when I have colleges coming to speak. I'm hoping that when we have colleges come to speak, we have a nice amount of students that are present in person or online, wherever, that are just curious and interested in all types of colleges. We'll have colleges that will come and speak that are quite affordable. If I can sell you on those schools, your parents will have great retirements and be able to spend some time in Tahiti. I always say Tahiti, I don't know why. All right, let's get into this next one. Find out and apply for the most affordable colleges. Now, these next few slides are going to be important. And actually, you can, you'll want a copy of the presentation. Even after this, if you can't get it right now, email us, we'll send you a copy. I think these next few slides, you're going to refer back to.
Deacon, are you sharing the slides right now?
Are they seen on the screen?
No, I
No.
think it's the YouTube page.
Hold on just a minute. Stand by. Okay. PowerPoint slides I was sharing. Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Yes.
Thank you.
How long is that happening? Like 25 minutes?
Yep.
Why does somebody tell me?
I know.
Nobody told
Sorry, it
me.
was me.
I feel like going back. Oh, there was some dynamite view graphs too. I mean, dynamite. I'll just go back and review the last one. How's that?
Okay.
7 top ways that youth and parents can control. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
No one hears me. Okay. Yeah, that's why I need y'all here, Christina. All right. Okay. Show curiosity and interest in all types of colleges, not just 1 or 2. So that's what this view graph was all about. And I talked on there about applying versus attending, how people will say, I don't even want to apply. Well, sometimes you're going to apply to schools that you won't like. You're going to visit colleges that you think you won't like. How about that? All right. And over here, us find and apply, find out and apply for the most affordable colleges. There's name brand college, name brand colleges that you might be interested in with average to very good grades. And I said it equal high cost. And I said name brand colleges, super high grades that were quite reduced college costs in many cases. Okay. Watch for early lock-in. We talked about that. Visit colleges you think you won't like, etc. All right, here we go. Know the most affordable colleges by college type. Here's some relatively affordable selective private college examples. Again, these are selective private college examples that I've picked from students that have gone to these schools and done extremely well. Now we have other schools that students have gone to, but we had a high percentage of success with these particular schools, and we know they're affordable. George Washington University in Washington, D.C. We have a great connection with them. Our students, if they apply and write to the right people, they'll get get admitted. It is a selective private college. They will receive a very, very, very adequate alumni award. I should have gave a disclaimer. I'm an alum of GW, plus I do admissions work for the school. And so when I recommend students from our program, they get a lot of attention for our alumni award to go along with their merit award. Lehigh University in Northeast Pennsylvania is a very good financial aid college for middle-class families up to $140,000 in income. They're very proud of that. Carnegie Mellon is very similar like that. They're in Pittsburgh. Again, these 3 are selective private colleges. So you're going to have high grades. I would say 3.7, 3.6 at the very lowest, unweighted. In fact, you'll find out in a moment, GW does not even read the SAT. So you can see you got to have grades. Seattle Pacific is one. We'll talk about them later. Grand Canyon in Phoenix is another one. Very affordable private colleges. And Howard University in Washington, D.C. These are our most popular and our most affordable colleges we can recommend. There are others too. For example, in HBCU, you'll see it later. Tuskegee is the other one who's a private school anyhow. They're very affordable. Now, a lot of students want to be urban, and it's not really an urban school, but yet I still regard them as for this list because they're quite affordable and they're somewhat selective. Okay, let's go to the next. Again, any questions, just kind of let me know. Christina or somebody, did they do that? Good, they got the copies. Good. People get
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's go to the next type. How about relatively affordable, selective, mostly Black colleges? Notice I say mostly Black colleges, because obviously what I'm going to be talking about next is traditionally Black colleges, which are public universities that we find that are very affordable, but they're mostly Black. They're 75 to 80% Black, but you will go to school with white and Hispanic students. So never understand that when it's a public university, that's going to happen. Virginia State University in Petersburg, Norfolk State University in Norfolk. I like both of those schools. They're very good with career development, but also you'll find it relatively easy with 3.5 to 3.7 to get a really good merit award, because they really are trying to get students from out of state to come to their school. Delaware State's another one like that, relatively easy to attain merit awards. And the school, again, is mostly Black college anyway. Jackson State, same thing, same exact thing I just said. Then Southern A&M University is also the same way. You'll find it's pretty easy. In fact, I think Southern A&M, if you apply by a certain date, will waive all the out-of-state fees. Okay, so if you're going to apply to a Black college, I think you should have some of these, at least one of these on your list, and compare it to the other colleges. Okay, get any questions, just let me know. All right, how about mostly affordable Western public universities? Boise State's our favorite one for that, because they have a special scholarship called the West Angeles Scholarship. That's going to be $17,000 a year for the student. That's going to make that school cheaper than a CSU. In some cases, the same cost, but a lot of cases cheaper than a CSU would be. So that's why we have so many students there. Right now, we have 18 that are attending, just graduated 6. And you might find this school very appealing as well. We're going to be visiting Boise State very soon, and we'll have a speaker from the school within the next few weeks. University of Nevada, Reno, I think we're going to have a speaker from there soon, another quite affordable university. In fact, they compete openly for our UC students because they don't have any essay that they have to do, where they have to do 4 out of 8. They're a research university, and they're in Reno, which is right on the border with California. It's quite close by if you think of it that way. University of New Mexico, I have a couple students there. Northern Arizona University, we run students through there recently, none there now, but it's very affordable. Again, we're talking affordable now. Colorado State University in Pueblo, Colorado, and the University of Colorado in Boulder is another school there. These are quite affordable. Now, what you don't see up here is Oregon, Oregon State, Washington, Washington State, Arizona, Arizona State, because they're prohibitively costly. They're going to be $40,000 to $60,000 for most students to go there. And that's kind of expensive for an out-of-state public university. In case you're wondering, we do it to their students too. I think it's our UCs that are $70,000 and our CSUs are $60,000 to out-of-state students. So they do the same thing to us. These schools up here on the sheet, on the chart that you're looking at right now, are just really wanting to get California students, and they do get a good share because they are so affordable. I would say the one at the top of the list would be Boise State, but these are all good out-of-state public. There's others I could have listed here where we've sent students to, but I didn't list them. Well, Montana State, that's one we had 2 students at. Let's talk about CSUs. Thought I'd change the color a little bit. How can you talk about affordable schools without bringing up CSU? My advice here I have on the top, and we had a good presentation a couple weeks ago. You can catch that video where we talked about the CSUs, gave you all the information you would need to know about CSUs. That's a video and it's available. I strongly advise you to look at that video. But here are CSUs in rank by, I have an admissions rating here that I've come up with and target GPAs. These are for students that are, I know in this program, none of our students are in these service areas of these CSUs. CSU, that's BU, sorry. CSU Poly San Luis Obispo is the most selective public university in the United States of America, and it is a CSU. So I don't know where people get the idea that CSUs are lesser colleges. They're not at all. In fact, many of you might have gone to CSU. CSU Fullerton, it's a selective CSU. CSU Long Beach, San Diego State, you see all the ones there, meaning they're the most selective, and they're the GPA you have to get into those CSU. Although I will say, Long Beach, you might be able to get into for lower if you're on our program. They ask us for a list of our students, and we've gotten students in that were 3.5. to Long Beach, 3.4, I believe, too, or slightly above 3.4 into Long Beach. So if you want to try to get into Long Beach, you want to stay really close to us and follow our directions when we help students in CSU. San Marcos, San Jose State, we put in give them a 2 for a rating. You can see the GPAs that are needed to get in those schools. Here are the rest of the CSUs. Chico, East Bay, Monterey Bay, Poly Pomona, San Bernardino, Fresno State, Sacramento State, and Sonoma State are ranked at 3. And you're going to have these GPAs. Although I think that I think students in our program could get in lower than 2.7 to Sonoma State because of our influence with that school. I have more to say about that in a minute. Dominguez Hills is a non-impacted CSU. In fact, all of these are non-impacted CSUs, meaning that they do impact by area, but there's hardly any students in their area. So look at the GPAs for those schools. So there's plenty of CSUs you can get into with 2.5. And of course, that would make somebody say right away, ooh, I don't want to go to any of those schools. But you remember what I said? You get the school you earn, not the one you want. You got to have a higher GPA to get in the schools you may want. You saw the first page back here. You saw those, right? So CSUs have a variety of different admissibilities. And it turns out if you're, one CSU I don't have up here, I can't believe it, is Northridge. Northridge I would have put in the 2 category and it is not listed on this list. But if you're in a high school that's in their area, like if you're in Culver City, it's going to be easier to admit to. If you're in a Long Beach high school, then it's easier to get into Long Beach. You can get in with a much, much, much lower GPA. But this is thinking about students who are in LA high schools. Okay. Any questions on that? Again, I listed CSU because they're actually quite affordable. They're quite affordable schools. And that's what this part is all about. Give us some ideas or can you get an idea? That's what I advertise on how to get affordable colleges. Here are the UCs in GPA order, the target GPAs based on our latest admission data. Santa Barbara has been more and more difficult every year to get into. A lot of people have been surprised by that. I wasn't. I saw it happening before the pandemic. It just got stronger during the pandemic, the selectivity. UCs get a lot of applications, which is why they're so selective. And they're research schools, and they're different than CSU in that regard, which means they have way fewer majors, way fewer. And you're going to probably need to, they're really preparing you, they think, to get a master's or do research with a professor. But I feel like you should start working, and it's more functional for work, finding work if you're CSU typically, but there are students that have gone to UC that have done that too. So these are the UCs. You get an idea of their admission rating here, how I kind of rate them on admissibility. Even Merced, you need to be 3.5 now to get in that school. Any questions? I guess we're okay. Let's talk about 5 of our favorite colleges. I think every week I'll do this. I'll do a favorite 5 each week. And this week I picked randomly these, although I did pick 2 of them because we're going to travel to them real soon. Grand Canyon University, the cost is usually the reason, and a great career start record they have with our program. My students have great careers coming out of there because the way the school is put together. It's a Christian campus, but very balanced. Boise State, cost and great career start. Very safe for Christian students, for adventurous students. If you're not adventurous, then you won't enjoy Boise as much. My students, when they go to Boise State, they do things they've never done before in nature. They canoe and they go hike to the mountains and they float on the river. They do all kinds of things they never did before. Yes, it's safe for Black students. Don't go on what you hear. Definitely go by when you visit and see the school. The director, that's me, is very connected with the school in terms of dollars. I told you they created a scholarship for us. They had to go to the Idaho Assembly to get it passed. And so anyway, they wanted to name it after our pastor, but he didn't want that. So it's just called a West Annual Scholarship. Sonoma State University is our favorite CSU. We like a lot of CSUs, so we like Long Beach, we like Bakersfield. You'll see them on the other list of 5 schools. All CSUs are comparatively lower in cost than other colleges, even if you're on campus. So if you're on campus at Sonoma or some of these CSUs, you're going to pay about, I'd say 15 to 18,000 per year for room and board and all your direct costs above and beyond the direct student loan. If you don't want to do the loan, just add 6,000 to that. But at that cost, it's certainly way, way cheaper, way lower in cost than a private college. And I always say here that the tuition for CSU is about $6,000 to $6,500. The tuition to say USC is about $65,000. So it's 1/10 the cost. And if you stipulate that USC is a quote better school, is it 10 times better than Long Beach? I don't think so. And yet you pay the cost for private schools. It's way more expensive. Sure, you get more aid, but is it enough to make it less than 35 or 40,000 a year? And that depends on your need basis. And the students that are eligible to go to USC, using income for the home is higher. Seattle Pacific University, the cost is comparatively lower. I have comments over. You can read those on your own. They're very good comments, I think. Cost comparatively lower than other private colleges, for sure. They're the school that cut their tuition by 30%. There's great connection with the professors. It's a smaller private school. I am hoping for improvement with the city of Seattle. If you're following that story, they cut their police department substantially. And I'm hoping that that situation is going to be resolved. And it did raise the crime rate. So none of my students were got in any trouble or got affected by that, but some of you might be reading the news and are aware of it. George Washington University, it's a great alternative to UC and the pricey selective private colleges. It's high quality career start. Any of the schools in DC, you'll hear me say that about Howard too. Any school in DC, you're going to have a great high quality career start. And student follow-up on the GW campus is awesome. If a student wants it, if they want that, they get it. There's a good dollar connection. We have the school, I said that before. High GPA is needed. There's no SAT required since 2014. A lot of these schools dropped the SAT as a result of what happened with the post-Floyd and the Floyd murder, and the schools changed a lot of their requirements and dropped the SAT. Well, GW had already dropped it in 2014. They haven't had the SAT since then. Okay. So here are the best college buys, even the ones I didn't mention. Boise State, I talked about that. If you're 3.2, you can get a West A scholarship. They're going to give away 4 of those every year. I'd love to give all 4 away to students that are going to Boise. Grand Canyon University, they have high merit scholarships with GPAs of 3.5 or above. George Washington, very favorable for our students that are admitted. Lehigh, middle class favorable. Carnegie Mellon, I could have said the same thing there, I just didn't say it. Seattle Pacific, any CSU or UC. That's a good summary of what I've done, okay? Some Western public universities, I think we said. I listed some of those earlier as well. All right, now I think we get around to Sister Walker's question. This is a repeat of her earlier view graph from meeting number 2, but many of you weren't there, so you'll appreciate this view graph, I think. Well, here's the delivery process. We have grade self-reports where you report your grades to the school in your application. You have essays for some schools. You have teacher recommendations for some schools. You have transcripts, believe it or not, for some schools, because some schools you can apply to without the transcript. We're definitely going to talk about that right now. Then you have application delivery. Let's tie it all together. For UC, you have a grade self-report, you have essays, and you can deliver the application. And notice there's no teacher recommendation if you follow the red line through. There is no teacher recommendation for UC. For CSU and most out-of-state public universities, follow the green arrow. You have a grade self-report where you report your grades. And let me just say the CSU self-report is very tricky and it's not user-friendly, which is why we do it for our students. We actually have a view graph we show you where we help, how you can get help from us. Then you have application delivery. That's it. There's no essay, no teacher recommendation for CSU. I hope that's clear. So everybody really should apply to a CSU. I will say something about that in a minute. Selective private college, we're going to have essays. You're going to have teacher recommendation. You're going to have transcripts you have to deliver, and then you're going to deliver the application. That's a great summary of how the process works. Okay. Now all you need is scheduling on when you do this, but at least shows you how it works. Sister Walker, how's that?
That's awesome.
Did you like that?
I enjoyed it because and the visual helped a lot because I'm visual. So, I'll be able to, even when I'm away from the image, I can still see it in my mind. So it's very helpful.
Right. And if you run that on your own in slide mode, you can see the arrows again.
Oh, okay.
Part of the animation. I asked you that because I'm always seeking ways to better describe what's going on. Let's go to the next chart. Oh, I should have mentioned the SAT, Sister Walker. It has dashed lines because you may or may not take it. If you have super high grades, turns out I'm going to recommend against the SAT if you're doing a selective private cut. But if you don't have very high grades, you're going to do the SAT. And that's why I have this dash box here. Okay. Now, how do we help with delivery support for CSUs? That's something I hope everybody will need. We have a grade self-report and you have application delivery, right? We just covered that a minute ago. What will come on to the student will use our data form, fill out our data form, and we'll actually submit the grade self-report. And then we'll teach the student how to follow up on the application. So we think they should be shown how to follow up because the application itself is not user-friendly. We got really upset and tired of students trying to do that that very difficult and tedious application and then being rejected or making a mistake on the application. And we decided to take over that function. And that's how we help. And we're involved in follow-up. If you see down here, wherever you see our head here, see that's where we are. We're delivering the self-report and the application based on this data form you'll fill out. And Christina has sent that out to people who've had conferences and maybe even wider. You might want to answer that email and get that filled out so we can start getting organized and know who we're going to help when we get to October 1st. What usually happens is we get to October 1st with about 3 or 4 people, then all of a sudden 40 or 50 people are hitting us right away with it, and we have to stretch them out. We'd love to know ahead of time so we can plan to do, and whoever comes to us now will get theirs done first. You might wonder how much that will take. About $55, and we will follow all the way through with your student to make sure no emails are missed, and they set up their student information portals, and all that is done, okay? And again, if you come to your college conference with me, we definitely will set up some kind of a college support program that makes sense for your student. And CSU will definitely be part of it. Let's talk about delivery support for UC and selected private colleges. So we talked about selected private colleges and UCs needing essays in order to deliver the application. Teacher recommendations were needed and transcripts. We think we should oversee the delivery of transcripts. There's a lot of opportunity to kind of mess things up with the transcripts. We'll remind you of everything you need to do to have proper delivery of transcripts. We've learned by over the years that that's a problem. The students are waiting for the decision, but the school hasn't sent the transcript or it wasn't properly sent to the college. So we really give a lot of guidance on how to submit transcripts. Seems like a small thing, but it isn't. And of course, there's the SAT. We do have SAT prep. In fact, we're prepping now, as I said a moment ago, for the August 27th test. We have orientation either this Wednesday or Thursday. Hey, Christina, is it Wednesday or Thursday? I'm a little bit disoriented. It's probably Wednesday. If she's there, maybe she can't hear me. Anyway, so teacher recommendations. So you do the SAT to have teacher recommendations as well. And that's a block I really can't control, but I can show you how to monitor it through the Common App the status of the teacher recommendation. Essays, yes, we can help with essay support. We already are helping about 7 students with their essays, and 2 of them are just about done. Actually, 3 of them are done. We help you with all your essays, including your Common App, your UC, and if necessary, even the supplemental essays as well. We'll do all that. This is a good month to start it. Before now, students might have been busy with classes or work. August, September is a great time to do it. I know you want them all done by the time school starts, but we'll do them with quality by September. They're not due till October, November, December in most cases. We'll help with the self-reports for UC to make sure it's done correctly, because it's a little easier than the CSU, but we still need to make sure we can help. Here's a summary of the application processing requirements for UC and CSU compared to each other. You'll see CSU and UC have great self-reports. You don't turn in a transcript. You do not deliver a transcript to UC and CSU. By the way, parents, that's how you can tell you have a rookie counselor. They think they got to deliver transcripts to these. You don't do that. UC is a research institution. You have 4 essays. CSU has no essays, okay, at all. Sometimes there's a supplemental essay from UC. They might ask you to deliver a 5th essay after they've already looked at your application. You can compare some of these other things as well too. All right. This is Common App over here. I'm sorry, I should have said, but over here, it is true. I should have put supplemental here as well in some cases, but on Common App, you have 1 plus supplemental essays. Sometimes there's up to 3. I think Howard has 2. USC has 3 essays in addition to the Common App essay. A lot of schools make you do a lot of writing. Okay. Now here comes the college process overview. Here's the different kinds of colleges that we think are involved. Out-of-state public universities, California states, early action private colleges, and Protestant Christian colleges should be delivered same time. You'll see in a moment. Universities of California and regular period private colleges. So it turns out that out-of-state public universities should start those around September 15th. Now, everybody won't have out-of-state public universities, but I think the best time to start those is the 15th, because most of them have rolling admission. They'll admit once they get a complete application and transcripts. They'll admit 2 weeks later. You could know by October that you're in what out-of-state public universities that you've been admitted to, students. California states delivered best from October 1st to 31st. The deadline's November 30th. Early action private colleges, I think November 1st to 15th is where most of those are. And that's where you're going to get those done. Those are the ones that have essays, and you really should start those, August, September, October. That's fine. University of California, now here it comes. Like clockwork on August 1st. Like you're going to see me, I'm telling you, November 1st to 30th is when you deliver the University of California application. But you're going to hear the news broadcast in about 3 days say, oh, the UC application is now available. And sometimes the way they say it, it sounds like it's due. And it alarms parents. It's just available to have data put in it, okay? You cannot deliver it till November 1st. Try to remember that. Sometimes counselors will indicate that. And again, they're not as familiar with this. But November 1st to 30th is when it actually is available online to be delivered. Hope everybody understands that. Regular period private colleges, I like to have them delivered before the new year, even though a lot of them are due in January. You may have an occasional, it's even February 1st. I think you should do them all in December and get them out of the way, preferably before Christmas. Now, these particular universities, the early action private colleges, the Protestant Christian colleges, the University of California, the private college, those are the ones that need essays, okay? The top 2 are not the ones that do it. We do it one-on-one or in a small group. I prefer one-on-one these days. And over here, we do application delivery support for all the applications. So, Sister Walker, this is a big part of your answer.
Yes, definitely. And I'm surprised that it's due so early for the Cal States.
Not due. That's when we do them. That's when we do them. But it's
Oh,
due November 30th. But I
oh,
deliberately don't put that due date up there because
oh,
it's nuanced. Some will be November 30th, others will be December 15th, and still others January. But when do we think they should be delivered? October 1st to 31st.
oh, I see. Okay. I see.
Okay. Any other questions on that?
So how can I get my, like, if I want my son to, be guided, by West LA, by your
Los Angeles.
division?
You just need a college readiness conference. I mean, I have some that have already had those, and you'll
Okay.
need the unofficial transcript for 3 years on a PDF. Please, not a picture or a scanned picture, but an actual PDF file from the counselor. They should be able
Yeah.
to send that to you. You can report them to the school board.
Okay.
They should have it. And you want to send it to me along with 2 dates and times where you can meet with us, and whether you want it in person or online.
Okay.
And that's how that starts all this, right?
Okay, great.
Because then we can decide whether there's even a proposal needed, et cetera. And I know I have Mariah's brother John, we have to do essay startup for her. Plus I need to give you, I already gave you a plan, but I need to give you a proposal. I always give a proposal after that meeting for how we can help. We're very low cost support because we're subsidized by Los Angeles. Okay, that's all right. Here, we're almost done, actually. I wanted to keep the meeting sort of short, but we'll take questions at the end. Current college visit plans. Youth should always visit the school that they pick, right, before they actually pick their college. I love to say it that way. It should visit the school they pick before they pick. Like they know what school's on their list. They really need to visit the school first. Don't plan for a student to go to school without visiting. We can't visit every school. We pick out schools that are affordable and very popular with our parents in the past. And you can find our visit plans always at www.westa-eep.org/events. But we have a Boise State trip that we're going to be taking. We have also there are all the costs there for it. Fortunately, airfares have jumped a little bit. We may be able to lower those costs because we're going to have a community plan with Southwest. We didn't know we could get. So certainly these are max prices. DC College Tour is set from November 12th to the 14th. You can start making installments, or you can pay the full. You can freeze that lower amount by making an installment. And then Sonoma State, we've got the date set, but we haven't set the price. It's December 12th. We'll keep adding trips to the list. We have a few more local schools we want to visit, and they typically will be low-cost tours. All right. What now? And I just told Sister Walker, because she asked at that moment. And Sister Walker, every question you asked, it's like you were leading me into what I was going to do. So I think it's a pretty well-constructed meeting. So you can see here, I'm summarizing what I need, right?
Yeah.
3-year transcript and test scores. College list will be developed at the CR meeting. CR means college readiness. We call it a college readiness meeting. And then there's some forms that we're sending out, FOSTA data form, CSU data form that you'll complete, and that's how it gets rolling. We'll make an application delivery plan for your student. We'll meet periodically until we get it done. We'll give you a very, very reasonably cost proposal for college support, and then me and my team will work with your student. You should consider SAT prep if needed. The open enrollment for the prep, we're open enrollment still. We have 2 more spots. We're starting this week with the prep though, but next weekend we'll be into it. Remember our session coming up, High School Student Success Workshop, August 7th, 2 p.m. to 4:45, more like 4:30. That's going to be Dr. Corliss Bennett. We're going to email about that. If you need to contact me personally, that's my cell number and my personal email. I think I might have included my team too. Yeah, here are all my team email addresses and what they do. Christina is here today. She's a general college assistant. She's also handling the data sheets for the CSU data application data sheet and the FOSTA data sheet she's handling, as well as coordinating the SAT prep. There's her email address. You can always get a hold of her. Quinn Davis, who's not here today, she couldn't make it. She does our parent communications, our video production. You'll meet her, don't worry. Bailey assists me in that area. She's a graduate of George Washington University. So she'll be going to be on the GW tour. Quinn Davis is from Long Beach, CSU Long Beach, and Christina Martinez just graduated from CSU Dominguez Hills. Thought I would say that, Christina. And then there's my contact information one more time at the bottom. Let me stop the share here. Let's find out if we have any questions. I'll be glad to take any right now. I didn't want to have a heavily long meeting. I want to really give you some useful information for right now in the process. We'll meet again in 3 weeks or so. But I thought this would be helpful to you right now. Anybody? I guess you kind of asked as we went, but are there any questions here?
Quick question. I know you said
Doesn't have to be quick.
sending it.
Doesn't have to be quick.
Okay. Could you pull back up the slide? It was maybe 3 ago where you had a list of the tours or the colleges that you were going to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can do that. It's the current visit. Obviously, it's going to be more mature shortly. Oops. I cheated myself. Hold on. I cheated myself. Hold on. I cheated myself. Let's try that again. There you go. Okay. Oops, doesn't like it. Okay. Here it is. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you.
25th and 26th for Boise State, 12th to the 14th for Howard GW. And make sure you click on that link and get your copy, or email me. I'll just send you a PDF. So you'll have all this in front of you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. I guess that's going to be it. I can't see YouTube Live to see if any have questions there, but we'll see them later, I guess. All right. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. I'm looking forward to working with you and your student to get an affordable college and start a great career. I'm going to do this another 4 or 5 years. Lord say willing. In case you're wondering, Sister Monica, you can get rid of me that easy.
No, this is my
I know what
last
you're
one.
thinking. I know what you're thinking.
This is my last one.
Well, we got to get them through college, though.
Huh?
We got to get that one through college and the other ones. So I'll be with you all the way.
Yes. And Zoe is doing well at East Bay.
Nice. Remember, I service what I sell.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Deacon Wilson.
All right. You're very welcome. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was very, very helpful. I appreciate it.
So glad it was. Sister Walker, anytime.
Okay, thank you.
Call me up.
I will. You'll be hearing from me.
I think we talked on the last one a lot, but you just call me up.
Hey,
Definitely.
Deacon.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this is John Raven. Hey,
I know.
I got a question. How did we're having trouble trying to figure out how to get grades from community colleges.
Oh, I know.
When my daughter's taking a couple of classes this summer, a couple of classes last summer.
That's
but but we don't know how to get the grades.
Which colleges?
She took 2 classes this year at El Camino, and last summer she took 2 at West LA.
Yeah, Christina, you want to comment on that if you're hearing it, or should I?
So for the grades, there's a portal that students can log in to check their grades. And if you don't have access to the portal or just having a hard time, then I would just call at admissions and ask for that information.
Yeah, they might be able to send you.
They'll send you the transcript so that you can show to the high school, send the high school copy.
Right. Yeah, because we were having problems getting on the portal. So you're suggesting just call admissions for a transcript. Okay.
That's
I mean,
correct.
both schools, I think both schools are LACCD schools. So
Yeah, right. That's why I'm shocked.
yeah,
Right.
no, we couldn't log into the portal. So okay.
I hear about that periodically.
Yeah, it's tough, and we're trying to get those credits.
Now the question. Oh, I'm glad you said it that way. So I'm gonna tell you something else that you'll be glad I told you. But let me finish my thought. You're gonna give it to the high school to put it on the transcript? Is that what you're trying to do?
Right. Like when we met, I don't know, I forgot when we met months ago, and you were like,
Right.
yeah, you don't have to take AP classes, take college classes.
Right.
And so that's what we've been doing.
Right.
That's what Mariah's been doing. So she has 12 credits but we want to show the credits. We want to show.
I got it. Yeah. Just get the high school. Now, if the high school gets jiggy with you and doesn't want to put it on the transcript, you don't even need that. When you self-report the grades, you can self-report those college grades.
Got it. Yeah, because because the high school she attends, they won't. We asked them.
Okay, there you go. There you go. So work with me. When I do the CSU and UC with her, I'll show her how to enter those. We'll enter them in the right section.
Okay, I appreciate it, Brother Deacon.
And there's one other thought you made me think about. I'm glad you did, which was how to get credit for college. That was a different issue. Right now, everybody, we're talking about getting admitted with those credits. Now, once she's in the school, Brother John, a day after she's in the school, she walks over to the registrar's office and cha-ching gets the credits.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
She shows the real sealed transcripts, gets the credit. And they do it right on the spot. It's crazy how quick they do it.
Wow. Okay. It happens that fast. All right.
Yeah. They're like, whoa. You like look on one day, boom. I'm a sophomore.
Right. Exactly.
But you're not really a sophomore, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think the most you can get, I think, is like 21 units or 22 units.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I want to make sure I got that in too.
Okay. I appreciate it. All right. Thanks.
All right. And I'll be getting to that plan real soon. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, super soon, like in the next 2 days.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Okay. Mhm. All right. By the way, your daughter was a great calculus student.
Well, thank you. I'll tell her. I'll let her know.
Yeah, I'm scared of her.
I'll let her know.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. Bye-bye now. Okay. All right, Christina, we did it.
Yeah, we did. It was a pretty nice group there.
Yeah, we done did it. And let's go ahead as a precaution. I'm going to send you, no, you know what? Yeah, I'll just send you everybody who signed up for the meeting. If they weren't here, I'll send you the roll sheet from who signed up for it. Because some people didn't come, a lot. I'd say about 5 families didn't come.
Right.
So you just send them all
You're frozen.
the presentation.
Okay.
And then
Just send them one.
and the video will be available in a couple